Waitress slid the biker a photo with his change. When the club heard about her son, they made a vow. The diner was quiet that evening, just the way Marcy liked it. The neon sign outside flickered gently, casting a soft pink glow across the worn-out booths and the polished linoleum floor. Marcy wiped down the counter for the 100th time that night, her apron dusted with flour and coffee stains. Her back ached, her feet were sore, but she smiled anyway. Smiling had become her armor against the world. A group of bikers roared up outside, their engines echoing down the empty streets. Marcy's heart skipped a beat. She had seen bikers before, but never this many at once. They stepped into the diner, helmets in hand, leather jackets creaking with every movement. Most people would have been intimidated, but Marcy had learned long ago to keep her composure. One of them, a tall man with a grizzled beard and kind eyes, approached the counter. "Evening," he said, his voice surprisingly gentle. "Coffee, and maybe a sandwich, if you got one." Marcy nodded, pouring him a steaming cup. "Coming right up," she replied, placing a plate of turkey and cheese in front of him. He glanced around the diner, taking in the dim lighting and the faded decor. "Don't suppose you got any change?" he asked, rummaging through his wallet. Marcy hesitated, then slid a small folded photo across the counter instead of coins. He raised an eyebrow, confused. "Ah, thanks." The photo captured a small boy, no older than 7, smiling shyly at the camera. Marcy watched his reaction carefully. The biker's expression softened, his eyes glistening ever so slightly. "That's him," he whispered. Marcy nodded. "My son. He's been through a lot, but he's a good kid. Just be careful." The man's hand trembled as he held the photo. "We'll take care of him. I promise." At that moment, the rest of the bikers turned to look at Marcy. Their usual tough exteriors softened as they saw the photo. There was a collective understanding among them, a silent vow that no harm would ever come to her son under their watch. Just then, a group of rowdy men entered the diner from the side door. They were loud, drunk, and clearly looking for trouble. "Serve us, bitch," one of them shouted at Marcy, throwing a crumpled bill onto the counter. Marcy's heart raced. She had faced rude customers before, but this felt different. The men were larger, more aggressive, and something in their eyes spoke of danger. The tall biker from before stood up, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Step back," he said firmly, his voice cutting through the tension like a blade. The men laughed, assuming he was just another diner regular. "And who are you supposed to be?" "Her bodyguard," one sneered. In an instant, the room shifted. 10 bikers surrounded the troublemakers, their presence dominating the space. Leather jackets, chains, and tattoos told a story of countless battles fought, but there was a strange honor in the way they stood. No fists had been thrown yet, but the tension was palpable. "You have no idea who you're messing with," one biker growled, stepping closer. The men faltered, sensing the danger they were in. Marcy watched in awe and relief as the bikers' silent unity sent a clear message: the diner, and her son's future, was under protection. The men, realizing the fight was not worth it, muttered curses and stumbled out the door, leaving the diner in a hushed silence. The tall biker turned to Marcy, gently taking the photo from her hands. "We mean what we said. He'll be safe," he reassured her. Marcy's eyes filled with tears, not from fear, but from gratitude. After the troublemakers left, the bikers settled into the booths, ordering coffee and pie as if nothing had happened. Marcy watched them, fascinated. These men, feared by many, had hearts capable of immense loyalty and kindness. Over the next few weeks, Marcy found herself crossing paths with them more often. They would stop by the diner, leaving small gifts for her son, or offering rides to school. The mysterious tall biker, whose name she learned was Jack, often stayed longer, sharing stories of his travels and teaching her son lessons about courage and resilience. One rainy evening, Marcy found herself outside the diner, struggling with her groceries. Jack appeared beside her, umbrella in hand. "Need a hand?" he asked, flashing a gentle smile. She shook her head, laughing despite the rain. "I suppose I can accept one hand. Just one, though." He chuckled, helping her carry the bags inside. The diner smelled of fresh coffee and pie, but tonight, it felt warmer, safer, like a haven built not just by bricks and mortar, but by loyalty and honor. Months passed, and the bond between Marcy, her son, and the bikers grew stronger. The diner became a sanctuary, a place where lost souls could find protection and kindness. Her son flourished, learning respect, bravery, and compassion from people society often misunderstood. One day, Marcy found herself holding another photo, this time of her son receiving a trophy at school for bravery in a bullying incident. She slid it across the counter to Jack, who smiled, eyes misty. "We kept our promise," he said simply. Marcy nodded, overwhelmed by emotion. "You did more than that," she whispered. It was a reminder that family isn't always bound by blood. Sometimes, family is found in the most unexpected places, in a diner late at night, among bikers with leather jackets and scars. Years later, Marcy's son grew into a young man, carrying the lessons of courage and loyalty with him. The diner remained a beacon of hope in their small town, a place where kindness had triumphed over cruelty, and where a simple photo and a promise had changed lives forever. Marcy often thought back to that night when she had slid the photo across the counter. One small gesture, a glimmer of trust, had set into motion a chain of events that no one could have predicted. 10 bikers had become guardians, a mother had found peace, and a boy had found a family. In the end, it wasn't about the fight, the threat, or the fear. It was about connection, trust, and the unspoken vow that sometimes, heroes come on motorcycles, with leather and chains, ready to protect what truly matters. And Marcy knew, deep in her heart, that she would never have to worry again.